What if this goes like they get this guy this bookie and he's got 10 other players?
Oh, here we go.
And it is like my son's tweet, the gambling era. All of a sudden, what the hell? This is crazy. Anyways, let's not hope that happens.
Well, I mean, there 1,000%. There's so many ways this could still go. And by the way, if you're just joining us, again, this is the show. Every day turns into Shohei Day by the end of the show.
It's the Shohei show.
But what we've got today is simply the announcement that MLB has launched an investigation into both Shohei Ohtani and his former interpreter, who the Dodgers have fired, Ipe, as they call him. And so that formal investigation has not only been launched, but everyone is gathering that MLB decided to put that news out at 5:57 Eastern time on a Friday. It's funny when teams do stuff like this. I don't want to go down this road again, but this was very, very much part of my thought process and why I was so ticked off about the Giants' handling of the Rennell situation on Monday. I think that they've known for months that they were going to do this based on what I now know. And they waited until the day that they also had the Blake Snell news. And I don't think that was an accident. Well, and so I look at this now. We're all too quick. We're too attached in the digital world. We see through this stuff. So when baseball releases this information at 5:57 p.m. on a Friday, it's like, guys, we get it. We know what you're doing.
But what was that tweet you just read to me during the break about it's brilliant, saying that this made another story out of a story because they tried to dump it on a Friday, and now everyone's talking about you tried to dump it on a Friday, which means you're hiding something, and it made another story.
Yeah, Richard Deitch of The Athletic used to be on Sports Illustrated for a while, wrote, once upon a time, the MLB Friday night news dump might have been smart PR. But today, in my opinion, it's doubly bad. Why, you ask? Well, it has a bit of a Streisand effect. You just created a secondary news cycle about how you waited until 5:57 p.m. Eastern time on a Friday. So, right, you don't do that unless you know, we now know, A, you're trying to hide something. B, you view this as very, very negative news. C, you don't want us to know what you're telling us. You're telling us, but you don't want us to know. You don't want us to talk about it. You're telling us all of those things simply in the way that you said it. And yeah, that's not good for baseball either.
I heard Rennell had a scorekeeper that was betting on the Giants. And they don't know whether Rennell was betting on the Giants or not. But that's what I heard.
Rennell, if she said the name really loud, she knew the next guy would always get a double.
Yeah.
And she knew if she said it quieter, that guy struck out.
No, that's how she placed bets. Yeah. If it was a loud name, that was $100. And if she said it just kind of matter of fact, then that was like she didn't want any action on this at bat. She's betting hits or no hits. That's what I heard.
Yep.
That's why Rennell's not a Giant anymore.
Within the community.
Yep, I heard all this. Yeah. It's fact.
Vince in San Francisco. Hi, Vince. Thanks for calling Willard and F.P.
Rennell was betting on Ohtani is what I heard.
What's up, Vince?
Hey, what's up, guys? This Shohei thing has literally taken over this whole week. And the more I think about it, like you guys said, the more none of it really makes sense. But the only conclusion, and obviously we have very limited facts, I'm sure MLB is hiding or withholding a whole lot of stuff from the public. But what do we know right now? We know that there were wire transfers that were being made to an illegal bookie, and that's it. There was that weird interview that came out Tuesday, and that's one thing that I don't understand. Like, why was that interview even a thing? And then for the interpreter to come out and say what he said, and then like you were saying Wednesday, I believe, how Shohei backed on that and said, no, I had no knowledge of this. So with knowing that and the transfer is going to an illegal bookie, to me, I feel like Shohei is going to be found innocent and he's just going to be untouched in this whole thing because let's say that he was putting bets down. We still don't know what bets were being made. What if they really were not about baseball? I mean, I know you guys in the clubhouse said Shohei only watches baseball. That's all he cares about. Okay, that's fine. but let's say it is covering for his interpreter, like was said. It's very believable that the interpreter could have been saying, "Hey, this is a legal gambling guy that I know. I made bets here. I can't cover it. Can you help me out or whatever?" Right?
Right.
If that is the case, they have to prove that Shohei knew that it was an illegal gambling person.
Not really.
That's going to be
not really, Vince. Vince, my understanding of this is a little bit different than yours. And here's what I feel like you might be missing here. For Shohei to be 100, like if you want squeaky clean innocence, you're going to have to prove that he had no knowledge of those wire transfers whatsoever, that it truly was stolen from him. And I think that's why the story is what it is right now. And the fishy part that you're also leaving out is that they changed their story in 24 hours. They went public. They sent Ipe to ESPN to talk about how it was his gambling problem and Shohei was covering for him.
Smokescreen. That was a smokescreen.
And
that was covering fire.
And then they switched the story 24 hours later to say that the money was stolen from Shohei. And the reason that's relevant is that if Shohei greenlit wire transfers to an illegal bookmaker, even if he was trying to do something good, even if he didn't know, at a minimum, that is a crime in California. Doesn't mean Shohei's going to get banned for life or anything like that, but that is a crime. So that's not squeaky clean, nothing's going to happen kind of stuff. We're not talking about a small amount of money. And when you talk about illegal bookmakers, the feds and the state, they don't like that. Like this is all come out because of an investigation that's going on into this bookmaker. So this is a little, in my opinion, it's a little bit more intricate and layered than what you just laid out.
And again, that was me going off of the information that has been released. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff that has come out yet, and it may never come out. Maybe MLB wants to get this taken care of before it goes any further. But based off of what's been said this week, I don't see a way that they can prove with beyond a shadow of a doubt that Shohei knew that the money was going to an illegal bookmaker.
Well,
I think the whole language barrier and interpreter thing is going to be a big factor in this whole thing.
Vince, I get it. Respectfully, I disagree. When you're talking about transfers, wire transfers of $4.5 million, I look at it the exact opposite way. Shohei's going to have one hell of a time proving that he didn't know. Not the way you said it. We're going to have a hard time proving that he knew? No. Wire transfers of that amount of money, good luck proving that you had no idea. And if this does get to federal investigation levels, FP mentioned this earlier, if you think that they're not going to have access to everything, you don't know how these work. They're going to have
the phone calls.
They're going to have the phone calls, their text messages, any communication between the bank and the client is all on the table.
Teammates are going to get interviewed.
So this is a big deal. This is going to be really hard for them to wiggle out of, in my opinion, because you're talking, again, I want to add to what was just put out there in terms of what we, quote, know. We know there were wire transfers. Sure. But we know more than that. We also know that Shohei's entire legal team has already changed their story once. They did, not Ipe.
Hey, let's say that he stole the money. Oh, that's a good idea. If I'm Shohei, I bring Ipe into my office and I say, look, you suck at gambling. You're terrible. After the first $500,000 payment, that's $500,000. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, knock this off. There's no way that he had access to Shohei's account and he was just doing this and Shohei didn't know. So if I know, because he's my buddy and we do everything together, I'm the skipper and he's Gilligan and we're running around together everywhere. I'm telling him, like, dude, knock it off.
Right.
Like, that's it. Done. Like, I'm sending the first wire, $500K, knock it off, smack him around a little bit, and then tell him that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Not 8 more.
And everyone's like, oh, but it's an addiction. Okay, well, go have your addiction somewhere else, and I don't want to be tied to it.
There are clinics for that.
I'm not trying to be mean. But there's $700 million at stake here. There's my legacy as a Major League Baseball player at stake here. I cannot afford to be around you. Like, Mark, I make decisions in my own personal life. And it sound judgy or whatever, but if I'm around people that do drugs, I go the other way.
You have to.
I don't associate with it. I'll have a cocktail with anybody, but when I see the real drugs come out, I go the other way. So, because I don't want to be associated with it, because A, I'm against it, and B, I just don't want to be around it. Yeah, and I don't think good things can happen with that.
Too many phones. There's phones everywhere.
It's just not my thing.
Yep.
So, along those lines, here's a guy that's on a whole different level with his career and his legacy, and he's the greatest player to ever walk the earth, possibly, when it's all said and done. And his best buddy is an addict, and he's not going to bring him into his room and say, like, bro, enough.
No, he's going to keep him closer.
And he's going to give him more money.
And start paying
And he's going to give him more money. Yeah. And he's going to give him more money. This makes no sense to me. Unless, hey, I like the Niners today. Go take care of it. Hey, I really, like, God forbid that I really like, I don't know, the Royals tonight against the Pirates in interleague play.
Then he's done.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
I hope he bet on the Niners. That would make me like him even more. I like the Niners too, Shohei. Let's go to Marlon in Concord. Hey, Marlon, what's up? You're on with Willard and F.P.
Hey guys.
Hey Marlon.
I'm actually checking out. I'm checking out at Safeway right now. I know you guys are always sponsoring Safeway.
We are. What are you getting?
Yeah, what do you got? What are you buying?
What are you getting?
You know what, man? I pretend to be a Catholic at times, so I'm getting some shrimp to not eat meat today.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Nice
for
you.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I admitted to your screener is that I am a Dodgers fan, so I'm calling as a Dodgers fan.
All right.
Yeah, this is good perspective. I want to hear what you think.
Well, I mean, first off, I think it sucks. I think it sucks because, I mean, first we had Bauer, and then we had Urias, and now we have this. So, I mean, overall, it sucks.
And Yamamoto stinks, too. No, go ahead, Marlon.
I know, exactly. No, I know, exactly. An inning goes by, and the whole thing sucks. I completely agree. But I do think that Shohei is kind of uncancelable in some way. And the more that you guys are kind of solving this whole mystery live for us today, it does make me kind of think that, hey, MLB's known about this. I'd like to think that Shohei has no clue about any of this actually happening. And the other thing, I'm not sure if people knew. Thank you so much. I do think that people didn't realize that Ippei was born, in the States. So he's probably born to Japanese parents, right? So here you have an American that likes to bet. I don't think Shohei knows anything about any other sports. So I think the poor guy roped into it. He's doing his buddy a solid. And I hope it all goes away in a week or two.
So
that's
Marlon,
all I got.
I do too.
Yeah, Marlon,
I do too, bro.
Marlon, first of all, thank you for thanking the employee who checked you out. I think that speaks well of you. But also, like, I keep sort of, and Marlon, thanks. I keep reinforcing this. Even if what Marlon's hoping for is true, that doesn't mean it's not a problem. It doesn't mean he's going to be canceled or banned, but if Shohei was just taken up for his guy, my guy, 4.5 milli, all good. I got you. That's like a $5 bill to me. I got you, buddy.
4.5 is a lot for anybody.
Because you're my fam.
I don't like that comparison.
I understand.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, but the math actually does work. But anyway.
Stop with the facts. This is Sports Talk Radio.
Yeah, to me, that's $5. Right. Anyway, even if that's all that happened, well-intentioned, good friend, 4.5 milli for his guy to cover his debt. Even if that's all true, you still got a problem. You still knowingly greenlit wire transfers to an illegal bookmaker, which is a crime, and that is a problem, and it will lead to questions. Hey, Dodgers, how are you going to handle this? Hey, Major League Baseball, how are you going to handle this? I get it. He just brought up the names Trevor Bauer and Julio Urias. Now, yes, those are totally different. Those are accusations that made their teammates go, dude, you're gross. Get out of here. We are not, most of us, morally challenged by this topic, even if Shohei was gambling. We are, many of us, not morally. So that doesn't mean we hate Shohei and, oh my God, ban him for life.
What if it's baseball though?
Well,
you change your opinion? You bet on baseball.
I would need, like, there's a discussion there still at minimum.
I'm still not like Pete Rose.
Yeah, I'm not black and white. Like, oh, you bet on baseball, you're banned for life. There's a discussion there. But my point is even if you're a big Shohei fan, and even if all the intent was good, it could still be a problem for him and for the Dodgers.
Well, that's fine if it's a problem for the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's really fine.
I say free Ipe. I think he's innocent. I'm going with that. I like to have the out of the box takes.
Where'd you get that from?
The more I think of the, we're solving the crime on the air. I think he's totally innocent. Free Ipe. I'm gonna get it trending on X right now.
Free pay. Yeah, get it. Make a hat.
He didn't do anything. He's wearing this. The guy never made a bet in his life, probably. And they're like, you go talk to ESPN. You go sit down with that reporter, and you just wear it. You just absolutely wear it.
But they're like,
you got a problem. You can't stop. You couldn't stop. There's no way. You tried to check in. You tried to get help. Just wear it. Okay.
And Ohtani's like, I'll give you my entire year's salary.
I'll give you all the deferred this year.
Which is like $1. What was his salary this year?
$2 million.
It doesn't even cover the guy's debt.
$68 million, but he's making $65 million in endorsements this year.
Right. Okay,
and then he deferred 68 to, I don't know, 2097.
Whenever
Ipe gets out of jail. This is so stupid.
Unreal.
This whole thing's stupid.
It's unreal.
It's so stupid. Honestly, what if Ipe's innocent? Now this is how I overthink things. And like my brain, I know there's a light on and people are listening.
No, that's
but this is how I work. This is how I overthink things.
But this is what we're doing this week.
I know it's fun.
I like
this guy's innocent.
But there's I'm going with it. But you're going with a what if, and there's 1,000 what ifs. I personally want to stick to what I can firmly share in my brain, which is that the story that we're being told, I don't believe. I don't want to then take this and go, so what I do believe is I can tell you what's believable. That's what's believable, which is that Ohtani just unknowingly committed a crime when he was trying to do something nice. That's believable. The original story that they told.
What is it going to look like when the Dodgers come into Oracle Park? What is it going to look like when Ohtani goes on the road this year? What kind of reception is he going to get just by his name being associated with this scandal?
I think all of the vendors should dress up as pit bosses. I think that
orange jumpsuit night.
Right.
Not Orange Friday, but like orange jumpsuit night.
Vegas hats, like all the sparkly, and just walk through the stands and go cigars, cigarettes.
Alcatraz night.
21. Yeah. Bet. The bets are down. Hopes are high.
Oh, man.
All right. Big Smooth in Oakland. Hi, Big Smooth. What are you doing?
Man, I'm just sitting in my driveway waiting for traffic to clear. But
what, do you live on a freeway?
Yeah, that confused me too. You're sitting on your driveway waiting for you're home, Big Smooth.
You live on an off ramp?
No, the freeway is right by my house, and I just turned around. I'm like, man, this traffic is kind of thick.
Okay.
But anyway, listen, man. Here's the thing about the gambling. You know what? We're inundated by gambling now on your phone, commercials, gamble. Honestly, I don't think the general public cares. Let them gamble. Who cares? We don't care because you guys have, not you guys, I mean media. It's been so in our face, inundated. Go ahead, gamble. $5 for free. Commercials everywhere, radio. So now, guess what? An athlete's mixed in a gambling scandal. You think? Yeah. It's going to happen more and more and more. Personally, I don't care, man. Gamble as long as you didn't hurt anybody. I'm just saying. Because of now it's so prevalent, I think people don't care anymore. I don't think we don't have an issue.
Yeah, but I don't know that us caring is even the issue, Big Smooth. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like what I was just saying. This may not affect your moral compass, and that may not matter. It may not matter. If federal investigators get their hands on this and baseball is put in a spot where Pete Rose has been over here scapegoated for generations, and then you've got this. You can't you're not allowed to sweep it under the rug. There's too much precedent.
It just seems very hypocritical is what I'm saying. Is, what most people are probably thinking, play ball, man. I just think it's very hypocritical. And I don't think the story is as big and I hear what you're saying. It may not matter because of the rules and regulations. But personally, I don't think that average person cares as much as maybe the reporters think we do. Okay, play ball, let's go. I mean, clear it out. Stop pushing gambling to everyone, and maybe I think these players gamble a lot more than what let's be honest. These guys are gambling. If they're not doing it,
well, of course they are.
I agree.
Tell their buddies to go do it. I'm telling you, man. They're telling their buddies, hey, man, because you're making gambling so fun. These are regular people who just happen to be really good at a certain sport. Why would they not gamble?
No, I don't know. Dude, I'm with you 100%. Did you hear our tweet of the day? It's from this guy named Jeff, and it went viral. It's got 54,000 likes. This guy has like 5,000 followers. This tweet has 54,000 likes. It says, "Welcome back to SportsCenter, presented by ESPN Bet. For more on the Ohtani situation, we go to our FanDuel insider, Jeff Passan, at our DraftKings studio in Los Angeles, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Jeff, how could something like this happen?" Like, this is the most clever tweet. To your point,
tremendous.
We're inundated with gambling. I watched Major League games last year with on the crawl below. They're having over under minus Dodgers minus 400, Giants plus
of
this.
Course.
And it's during the game. And my take was there's Bally Sportsnet is now a local RSN, regional sports network. So a casino basically owns a sports network that's broadcasting Major League Baseball games. And I'm sitting there watching this and how big gambling has become in the sports world with our apps and everybody betting on games. There's shows on ESPN where they're telling you what lines to bet. Even Bonte's pregame show with the Warriors, they do betting lines. Sure. They do. They take the Warriors over. Sure. But betting's everywhere in sports. And I'm watching this in baseball, and I'm watching how incorporated gambling is in baseball now. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Pete Rose can't even go to a Major League ballpark because he bet while he was playing baseball.
Okay, but can I?
And now it's just so part of the everyday fabric. To our caller's point, and to this like clever tweet that I think is hilarious. Like, it's so part of the everyday fabric that we're surprised.
All right,
we're shocked.
Let me offer.
I know Major League players that gamble.
Let me offer an alternative view, because you're right. I will not argue the hypocrisy of professional and college sports making gambling such a big part of what they're doing and their partnerships. But then, on the other hand, here the players can't even come near it. That is hypocritical. You all are right. However, I'd also argue this. That does not make it okay to commit crimes. And because sports gambling has become so prevalent, you absolutely can find legal ways to do this now. And it's all sponsored by Prize Picks, for crying out loud. Like, there's 1,000 different ways. Is this segment even sponsored by Prize? No. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. But do you get my point?
Yeah.
There's 1,000 ways for you to do this, especially if you're a billionaire, legally. So you're all right. It's hypocritical. It doesn't mean you get to commit federal crimes.
What if we go to like a cultural thing? There's certain cultures where gambling is part of the everyday life, everyday fabric.
And there's also cultures where it's like the biggest taboo of all time.
Which is ours.
Yeah. No, this is worse. There are those that are worse. You know? But I get what you're saying.
There's a cultural element to this too, I believe.
Sure.